Squared podcast. I'm Jordan,
I'm Jaden.
and today we're here with Mr. Rhône.
Welcome.
Now, Mr. Rhône, if you weren't a teacher, what occupation would you have?
Probably something in the medical field. I was an EMT for over 20 years, so therefore I should have pursued that because I think you guys would find a career in medical would be very rewarding, helping people, and also there's guaranteed employment in that field right now with all the elderly people.
Now,
So, you go.
okay. Um, now, what's it like working as an EMT? How was that?
Well, when I was at EMT, it could it could be like a lot of downtime. There's not a lot happening, but then things happen relatively quickly in a very short period of time, and so there it could be very rewarding because you're helping people. At the same time, it can be very frustrating because sometimes you can't always. You feel like you should be able to do more to help, and you're limited by the person's situation sometimes.
So, were you an ENT directly out of high school?
No, well, I grew up in Clearfield, Pennsylvania, so I was affiliated with a volunteer fire department because I had family members in it. And I used to, before there was like a lot of laws to become an EMT, you could like ride along with the ambulance. So I did that. Now, once I went to college, I didn't do that for a while. So about 12, 13 years later, I picked back up on it and became certified as an EMT. And so I did that for 20 years as sort of a source of extra income. And my back kind of throws out your back once in a while. And so therefore, I've moved on, but I still have like the certifications.
Yeah.
So, and I can help you out if you're choking, I can definitely assist you.
Now, was that like, so what made you want to become a teacher then?
Oh, well, I think just having good teachers in school kind of inspire you. And there's not much, if you have a love for history, there's only so many options. You can become president of the United States since, we already have qualified people for that. Well, I figured I would just teach it.
So, were you an EMT while running in school? Is that what you said?
No, after I did like towards the end of high school, I was involved in it. And I wasn't actually licensed at the time because they didn't really, it was back in the early 80s. So there was laws were a little looser. Like you had certified EMTs, but they also had people ride along with them. It's much stricter now. Everyone's licensed that's on an ambulance now.
So where did you teach before Bellwood?
Oh, several places. I'm glad you mentioned it. Well, we can start backwards. The most recent first. Before I came to Bellwood, I was helping adults, basically people that did not complete high school. I was helping them. It was through the Altoona School District, but it was like adult education. And prior to that, it was at Bishop Guilfoyle for many, many years. Okay, even taught some teachers here at this school, like Mrs. Carney.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, those stories, don't ask questions about that right now.
So, what's the difference between like teaching an adult versus teaching a student?
I think adults are a little more self-motivated. Now, we have a lot of self-motivated kids here, but we also have students that don't think education is going to help them in the future, so they don't really apply themselves. Whereas an adult, they've gone through that and they realize that they sort of want a second chance, and so therefore they were willing to put a lot more work into it because they realized this is their second opportunity. So we were dealing with a lot of adults that had dropped out of high school, and so they came to regret that. So don't drop out of high school. You only got 3 months, so that'd be kind of a waste at this point.
So, during your time here at Bellwood, you've always taught history, right?
Oh, history and current events.
What's been your favorite lesson through history class?
Oh, well, anything in a broader term, anything that relates you can relate our current world to this world. Like talking about the Silk Road, we were talking about how everything we get is from somewhere else today, and that didn't start with just our modern world. It's been happening for centuries, and we have an example how the Silk Road linked up Asia, Africa, and Europe, and also interchanged cultures. And just the fact that there's some more specific detail. What's always neat to talk about the ancient Native Americans, such as the Aztecs and the Incas, and because kids find that so unique that there were such advanced civilizations in America before the Europeans even got here, because we tend to not view them as very advanced, but they were quite advanced.
Now, if you could take your students on a field trip anywhere,
Ooh.
any time period, where would you go?
Well, did you want rough or fun? Because it would be interesting to see how the Great Wall of China was built, but those were terrible conditions, and it would make us appreciate our easy life we have now. But at the same time, how about a medieval Renaissance fair
Yeah.
to see if you could cut the mustard with the knights and stuff like that? Because everyone thinks they're tough nowadays, but back then it was like you play a game and you could get killed. Or how about the Roman gladiator fights? Now, I wouldn't take kids there because it's very violent. But at the same time, we seem to have a very nice life nowadays compared to our ancestors.
Make them more appreciative.
Yes, that's you said so well. Appreciative of what they have.
All right, so this leads us into our second segment, outside of school. Jaden, get us started.
All right. What hobbies do you enjoy outside of the classroom?
Well, a lot of them are in the summer, the nicer weather, of course. Oh, I have a green thumb for gardening, of course, but I'm not really into the vegetables because they never work out. But a lot of flowers, and I usually travel to like Lancaster and around the state to get different flowers that grow well around here to attract like the hummingbirds and the butterflies and the bees. Last year I grew a pumpkin that came from a seed from Tanner Swager. A little note there, it got about that big. So Tanner Swager is helping in the gardening. And I collect, let's see, I have a big collection of musical, classic rock music, I guess, in an LP form. You know, I do not have any Motley Crue. I'm sorry about that. But I have some groups you would know. So I have probably 200, 300 CDs plus probably another 500 albums. But they've been collected over 40 years. So
What's the oldest one you have? Like the most?
the oldest, oh,
Or maybe
geez.
like more of like rare, like the rarest you want.
Well, I have some stuff from the 1950s that you would not know, like some Little Richard Elvis Presley. So that would probably be the oldest. I would imagine maybe the older, the more valuable.
Yeah, I feel like if you had an Elvis album, I feel like that'd be
Oh,
rare.
well, I'll check that on eBay. Check the prices. I might be able to retire early.
Yeah, who knows?
And then the gardening, do you just do that at your house?
Yes, but if you would like to hire me, you know, we could talk some contracts. But yeah, you know, you've got to liven it up a little bit. But there's more to do in the summer.
Yeah.
Mowing grass,
Mm-hmm.
that's considered lawn work
Did
too.
you do anything this weekend?
This past weekend,
Yeah.
Sheesh. One weekend I went bowling. I don't know if it was this past weekend or the weekend before that. That's pretty exciting.
It is pretty exciting.
I cleaned around the house a little bit.
Fun.
That was pretty fun. This is the time of year, you know, you're transitioning. You're getting ready. We're getting ready for the big curve season, as you know,
Yeah,
and we're getting hyped up for that. So there's a lot of planning goes into that, a lot of details.
a lot of behind the works.
You don't know even how hard it is.
What's the longest you've gone without sleep?
See, well, one time when I was teaching high school at another location, not to be named, of course, we talked about this. Obviously, they should be paying attention. They should
Yeah,
know
they
this.
should- yeah.
We had one of the very similar to the mini-thon here, but it was overnight. And being one of the chaperones and organizers, really couldn't sleep. So it was like all day at school and then
Oh.
right till the next morning. And so
Yeah.
I was very sluggish and dizzy from lack of sleep. So I guess I've gone the full 24 hours without it. I would not recommend it.
Did you have school the morning after?
No, luckily it was a Friday.
That would have been more fun.
That would have been more. That would have really tested someone's
Yeah.
stamina. Go the 36
You
hours
have to
without
spend-
sleep.
And all the students as well.
That's an idea. It's an idea we could float around here.
Mr. Hallahan can use that next year.
You know what? We're always looking for upgrades.
Yep. Now, do you have any hidden talents that we should know about?
Well, that's what's like cleaning because I have to clean at home all the time. So maybe that's one of my talents. I don't know. I don't really know. Like something I could do now. I don't really have anything that I ride a bike. That's kind of talented.
You know any magic tricks?
Yeah. Look. Oh, my thumb is. Ow! Ow! Look, my thumb. I pulled my thumb off. See, that's kind of like you could instantaneously do a magic trick if you have to.
Yeah.
Impressive. That would impress so many people.
Well, let's say that maybe I'll be doing a curve like thing on the
Doing
you know
like a
on the
show.
jumbotron,
Yeah.
you know, a little magic show.
How long have you worked at the curve?
Surprisingly, only 5 years. So a lot of people think it's been longer, but you know, we lost that year of COVID, so it could have been 6. So we count that one. We count that one out.
Now, what is it like to work at the curve?
Well, it's a lot of standing around. You got to stand. You know, you're not really sitting the entire time, so it's kind of like mini-thon. You're standing around a lot. It's pretty enjoyable because it's pretty low stress, and the games don't take as long as they used to. They're only about maximum like 2 hours, 2.5 hours long, so it's not that bad. You're there an hour before the game, and once the game's over, you can leave. So you get to meet everyone. You see all the Bellwood kids come through. You get to see you get to start knowing people that come to every game. You kind of get to know them and their families a bit, and you get to meet a lot of people from out of town. A lot of people, which is surprising. A lot of people come from way outside the area, from other states, and some people even put it on like their bucket list, and they come from. We've had people from California, Canada. They're coming to visit, and the out of town teams, their families, they're coming from the Caribbean islands and South America, and you get to meet with those people. So, and you get to meet some of our fine Curve employees that go to Bellwood, like Olivia Beatty at the Curve Burger stand. Yes.
And are you like security? Is that what you do?
Well, I wish I was security, but no, kind of like customer service. For example, getting people to their seats, asking questions, and you'll be surprised at the questions. They always say, "What is there to do around here besides baseball?" And you take Del Grosso's, Lakemont Park, but now it's half closed, so it's going to be hard to mention. You don't mention the mall, but you say Logan Town Center,
Yeah.
and we got a Target. So there are things to do, and the Horseshoe Curve, of course, if you like trains.
What has been your favorite place to travel to?
Travel to? Well, I always regret I have not traveled yet out of the country, but I plan to do so hopefully soon. Sort of travel. New York City is always exciting, even though the crime is getting worse there. Okay, that's always exciting. Washington, D.C., touring the museums. Now, come on, how much fun is that? I've been, of course, to Florida. Hit the theme parks down there. The only problem is being a teacher. You got to go in I was going in summertime. It's like really hot.
Do you like roller coasters?
I get sick. I'm sorry, I get sick. But I like the little things that like float and they go around in boats and stuff. Yeah, those are pretty fun.
Do you do customer service stuff anywhere else?
Oh, at Penn State University for Beaver Stadium. James Franklin's counting on me to deliver like a championship soon. He's always like, so what we do is we get the people that are unable to walk up to their seats. You ever see the big ramps up at Beaver Stadium? And a lot of people can't walk them. So I got to drive them up. And guess who my partner is helping me out with that?
Who?
Joe Murgo.
Wow.
Weatherman Joe Murgo. We will drive you anywhere in the stadium. So, yes.
Personal service.
It's classy. It's classy service. It's classy service. I get to drive through 100,000 people, which is very challenging.
You ever hit somebody?
Well, some people I haven't hit them, but they've hit me. They walk in looking at their phone. They just walk right into you, and you're just like, wow, and they're not paying attention. Another reason to leave your phones at home.
Now, what is your educational background and where did you grow up?
Well, if you've been paying attention, Clearfield, Pennsylvania, which now, of course, is in the Laurel Highlands. So we are experiencing some of that sporting action now. Yeah, big rivalry. And so then I went to Penn State University, and of course, I was not asked to play football, so I did not play football. But so I went to Penn State University. So then somehow I got it here.
And did you always want to be a history teacher? Or?
That was always my major in college. It was nothing else. So I suppose I've dabbled in thinking about some other things, but I'm so far along. Let's just keep riding this out. Yeah. See how it goes.
You want to move on to the next section?
We can. So this is the last session called Quick Question and Answers. Jaden, get us started.
Oh, jeez.
Now, do you believe in aliens? And if so, what are they like?
I do believe in aliens. I don't think they've actually been on Earth because the universe is too big to have them. I think it's just like people. There's going to be bad aliens and good aliens. Okay? There's going to be ones that are so smart that, like, to them, we're nothing. They don't even pay attention to us. And there's other ones that want our old or golden oil. And they haven't found us yet. So I'm sure there's life out there.
And who's your favorite historical?
Oh, how about Leonardo da Vinci? Because he was a master, the Renaissance master. He did art, painting, mechanics, math. He dabbled a little bit of everything. Yeah. And so therefore, how does a man get that smart and that talented?
Now, if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life.
One meal. What would it be? See, I used to tend towards the pastas, but they're a little filling. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking along the lines, can it be something sweeter? You think that's a bad choice?
Anything.
You don't have to worry about nutrition.
Really? Holy smokes. So I get like a bowl of cereal, like Constant Captain Crunch. I don't know. How about Chicken Alfredo.
That's a good choice.
I knew you'd like that.
Now I was hoping for a curved burger, but
Well, that's seasonal. So
Yeah,
what would you do the rest of the year?
you would have to. Yeah,
You would just be fasting.
You get free food.
No, oddly enough, no. We still have to buy it, but there's a discount, but it is not free. You don't work for free.
Sad.
It is very sad.
And what song would you sing in karaoke night?
Well, there's some songs I would sing, but I think I don't necessarily. This is not my favorite song, but maybe Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, because you hit all the ranges. You know what I mean? So you really show off your vocal skills.
I'm sure you would be an amazing singer.
Oh, well, I don't like to show off because it would make people feel bad. That they're like, I can't sing like that. So
now, what's the most daring thing you've done?
see, would gambling in a casino be considered daring? Because you're losing money.
I mean,
You could lose money.
Yeah.
Well, not that much. I'm too scared to say that. I think that's pretty daring.
I would say
Driving on these roads is kind of daring.
especially when it's raining or snowing.
It's hydroplaning. That's a big concern this time of year.
This is due for high school kids.
Kids that are inexperienced drivers, and you just like pull over and let them pass you because they're not paying attention. So that's pretty daring. So I don't think it's about doing something remarkable. It's about just living every day. That's daring enough, don't you think?
I think so.
There you go.
All right. Well, I think we're going to end it here. Thank you, Mr. Rhône.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on this fine show.